Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to discuss about aniline point of a lubricant. In some of the previous videos I was discussing about the properties of lubricant. So aniline point is also one of the property of a lubricant, and that too which is liquid in nature. So it is a property of a liquid lubricant. Let us go ahead with what we are going to do today. Is we are going to find out the aniline point of a given sample of lubricating oil. So your aim is very clear that you have to determine the aniline point of the lubricating oil. So obviously the chemicals would be aniline and the sample lubricating oil. As of now, for today we'll take diesel as a sample lubricating oil, and the apparatus is very simple. You can call it as aniline point apparatus, and if you don't have that, then you can simply use beaker, thermometer stand, stirrer, etc. So let us go ahead with what is first aniline point, and then we'll go ahead with how to determine this particular temperature. So when we call it as a point means obviously a temperature, a value would be there, right? So aniline point is nothing but a temperature, the minimum temperature at which equal volume of aniline and your oil is miscible. So the temperature at which the equal volume of oil and aniline becomes miscible, becomes almost like soluble, that temperature is aniline point. So what you have to do today, let us see. You have to mix aniline and diesel, and you need to note the temperature at which they are mixing, they become miscible, right? So what we are going to do, you are going to take a beaker. I hope you understand this is a beaker. Then you have to put equal volumes of both of the solution. So as of now, for today, I have taken 20 ml. So 20 ml of aniline and 20 ml of diesel. Now can you find out which layer is of aniline and which one is your oil? Aniline is dark color. So the bottom layer here you can see it's aniline, and this one is your lubricating oil. So what you have done is you have taken equal volume of oil and aniline in a beaker. Now this is a hot plate, so you need to heat it in order to dissolve it, because you can see the two layers exactly, right? And they are not going to dissolve as such without heating. So what you have to do here is you have to heat it, and for that you need a hot plate. So this is a hot plate. Now when you're heating it, in order to make sure that the heating is uniform, we need to use a stirrer. So a glass rod as a stirrer you have to use, and then obviously we have to note the temperature at which they both are dissolving. So to note the temperature, obviously thermometer needs to be used. So these are the apparatus which we are going to use for today. Very easy. A hot plate is there, a beaker is there, and a glass rod and a thermometer, and the chemicals are only two, oil and aniline. Now let us go ahead with what are we going to do here. So if you see the video here, what you have taken 20 ml aniline and diesel, and you are stirring it now, because you have switched on the hot plate. You can see the light, the hot plate is on. Now it will start heating it, right? And you have to stir it in order to make the uniform heating, in order to dissolve this aniline and diesel together. So your aim is to find out when are they going to dissolve. So obviously it's not that easy for them to get dissolved, right? So you have to heat it for long, depend on the oil, and you have to stir it also. You have to check in between. See, I have left the rod, so there are two layers still I can see. Still I have to stir so that there is no separate layer. See, now it is completely mixed. There is no separate layer. That means these are mixed. Now this is what the temperature I want to note, but obviously I'll take a pause here. But obviously if I put a thermometer at the same moment on the hot plate, it may rise, the temperature may rise, right? What I want is the minimum temperature. Let's say the reading is 79 degree, but the moment you put thermometer there only on the hot plate and you're stirring, don't you think while noting the temperature from thermometer, the temperature may rise to 81 or maybe 82, maybe 83, right? So if this is the case, if we take this reading as the aniline point of the oil, it would be wrong. and this will give us wrong inference. I'll tell you at the end what is the inference we take from the reading, right? So we are going to judge the lubricant wrongly if we take the reading wrong. So it is very important that the reading has to be minimum. The first temperature at which the aniline and diesel is dissolved, and that was 79. So how to check they dissolve and immediately you are noting it? How to check that? That is not possible as of now because there would be manual error. So what we do is we take out the beaker from the hot plate and we put it on any surface, and then we put the thermometer inside and we let it cool. Let it cool down. Let's say it reached to 82 degree. That's okay. Let it cool down to 81. Let it go down to 80. Let it go down to 79. When it goes down, it reaches to that temperature, you'll observe a small layer here. The layer is separating. The diesel and aniline are mixed, but the moment they separate is the moment where they were last immiscible, right? So that is what how you're going to reach to the temperature which was minimum, the last temperature up to which they were separated, and after that they become miscible. So what we are going to do is a pattern which is opposite. Now you see, you have to now let it cool to down and observe here at the top. So you just have to observe here at the top. As soon as you observe a layer here, thus they start separating. The moment you observe a layer here, you have to take the reading immediately. So see, the reading is already like crossed 80 something, right? And now see, you have observed a layer here. See, a layer has arrived, and here you have to stop your reading. So you have to be pretty quick in taking the reading here. You need to be very exact that yes, this is the point where just the layer has arrived. We don't have to wait for it to separate 20 ml, right? You don't have to separate. The aim is to mix them and know when they are mixed. That is the minimum temperature at which they are mixed, right? So that is how you are supposed to note the temperature. So I think with that you are able to understand. Now if like here also what you can do is, if you are not comfortable with like the reading you have got, what you can do is you can repeat the experiment 2-3 times to get almost similar reading or confirm the reading. So what I'll do, once it starts separating, I'll again put it on the hot plate, let it dissolve, and then I'll again cool it back and cross check whether it is still separating at the same temperature or there is a chance of decreasing further. Remember, we have to go down to the minimum level, right? The least possible reading you have to take. So that is how aniline point is calculated. I hope you understood here. You simply have to mix them together. So what you have done is you have taken that beaker and then you have added 20 ml of your aniline and diesel. Then you kept it on the hot plate to heat it, and you used a stirrer to stir the solution. Once the solution becomes clear, like once you don't get the two layer, the solution is clear, you have still rod in it, you need to note the temperature. But it's this time if you put the thermometer, the temperature may rises because it is still on the hot plate and you're still stirring. So what to do to note that temperature? We'll put that beaker on a flat surface and we'll put a thermometer inside. Also make sure that the thermometer is not touching the bottom of the beaker, otherwise it will give you wrong reading. So just put the thermometer in the beaker and observe. As soon as you get a layer separating from maybe down or maybe top, you have to note the temperature. So that is what the aniline point, the minimum temperature at which equal volume of aniline and your sample oil gets miscible. So that is what you are going to calculate here later on. So here if you see the reading like aniline point, so what we said, it's the minimum temperature. So now here in observation you have to write that 20 ml of aniline is taken, 20 ml of diesel is taken, and the aniline point of the given sample is the minimum temperature. So as of now, let's say randomly you may write 79 degree because in the example I gave you. So this is how you're supposed to write it. But then what is the significance of doing it? Why are we doing it? I said that there is an inference. I said that there you have to find out minimum. So what is the inference? Let's say if the sample 1 is giving you the reading 55 degree. Let's say sample 2 is giving you 85 degree. So what is the inference you have taken about the sample? This sample is easily dissolved or in the aniline because the temperature is lower. This sample is not easily dissolved in aniline because the sample is higher. The temperature is higher. That means you have to heat it till 85 degree to get it dissolved. Right? You have to heat it till 85 degree to get it dissolved. It is not easily dissolved. Right? So from this much inference can be taken that this sample 2 is not easily dissolved in the aniline, and in sample 1 it is easily dissolved. Now what is the reason behind it? Why it is easily dissolved and why it is not easily dissolved? Obviously it depends on the solubility rule. I hope you remember the solubility rule was like dissolves like. Right? Polar is dissolved in polar solvent, non-polar is dissolved in non-polar, and like that. So now if aniline you are taking and you are dissolving it in oil, so aniline being aromatic, don't you think oil, if have aromatic content, it will be easily dissolved? That is what the significance is. Aniline point gives you an indication of aromatic content of the oil. More the aromatic content here in the oil, easy would be for aniline to get dissolved. So that means sample 1 has high aromatic content because it is easily dissolved, while sample 2 has less aromatic content because it's not easily dissolved. You have to heat it till 85 degree. You're forcing it to get dissolved. Right? So the first point is it gives an indication of aromatic content. Okay, I come to know that in sample 2 aromatic content is less, in sample 1 aromatic content is more. Now what is next? What is the indication? Do we really need aromatic content? Because ultimately oil you are going to use as a lubricant, right? And lubricant is that substance which reduces friction, which reduces wear and tear, which is a corrosion inhibitor, which act as a sealing agent, right? So if these purposes this oil is not serving, then the oil is a very bad lubricant, right? So now think about how aromatic content is going to affect the quality of lubricant. How it is going to affect the quality of lubricant, right? So aromatic, if you remember, benzene, aniline, nitrobenzene, phenol, chlorobenzene, they all have a peculiar smell. Then they liberate gases. They are carcinogenic, cancer causing, and they are corrosive. So if the lubricating oil has more of aromatic content, it would be corrosive. It's going to corrode the rubber seals, etc., or other material except glass. If you're going to use it, let's say you're going to apply a oil here and you're going to connect a rubber tube here, so it's going to correct that rubber seal from here. Corroding will take place, corrosion will take place. Normally in packaging industries, etc., it is checked first whether it is corrosive or not, whether it contains aromatic content or not. So first inference is aromatic content should be less, and with the help of aniline point you'll be able to understand. So greater the aniline point, lower the aromatic. So obviously for a good lubricating oil, what do you think? Which sample is better? The aromatic the content is less in which sample? Obviously in this sample. So this is a better sample as a lubricant because we want to use it as a lubricant. It is having less of the aromatic content, less paraffin, which are toxic compounds, and they are going to affect our health also, in machine also. So both ways they are not good. That's why aniline point should be high for a good lubricant. And with the same point, I'll come to the point that why do you call it as aniline point then, right? If you have to check aromatic content only, why don't you go for benzene point or chlorobenzene point or phenol point or nitrobenzene point? They all are aromatic too, right? But why it is aniline point? Because all other compounds which you select are not stable, are more corrosive, are more problematic. Like phenol changes to phenoxide ion, chlorobenzene releases chlorine, nitrobenzene has its own bitter almond smell, etc., etc. So overall, if you see into aromatic, aniline is quite safer in comparison to other. That is why to check the aromatic content of oil, we select aniline point. So I think with that you are able to understand that aniline point has to be high for a good lubricating oil. So with that, I'll take your leave. Just mention in the comment if you have any doubt or if you like the video. Thank you so much.